Japanese officials say in 2 years they will start releasing radioactive water from the crippled Fukushima nuclear plant into the sea. The water's been accumulating at the site since its meltdown in 2011 after a massive earthquake and tsunami. Both China and South Korea say they've got grave concerns over this move, but Japan insists the water is safe.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They're just dumping that water back into the ocean? I mean, I don't know what kind of Brita filter they're using, but I've got doubts. And Japan better be telling the truth about this water being safe, because if it's not, that's going to be really bad for ocean life. It's going to be bad for the environment and for people. I mean, on the plus side, it's going to be a lot easier to find Nemo. In fact, this is such disturbing news that I kind of wish Japan hadn't announced it. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, if they're going to do it, they should have done it quietly, you know? Like when you pee in the ocean. Okay, Fukushima's empty now. I mean, isn't there anything else Japan can do with that water besides putting it in the ocean? Like, I don't know, use it to fill waterbed mattresses. Anybody who owns one of those is probably gonna die of something weirder than nuclear wastewater anyways, so I mean... And look, I'm gonna say something that might not be popular right now. But even if this destroyed the ocean, how would you know, huh? You're not hanging out in the ocean. What? David Attenborough has to stop making documentaries about it? Big deal! He's already made like 20 ocean documentaries. We'll just rewatch those. If anything, it's those shows that are the problem. He's always telling us shit that makes us depressed. You see this coral reef? It's dead now. Why did you show it to us then, David? We would have never known it was dead if not for you. If you think about it, he's the one who killed it. He killed everything. But let's move on to the hot topic out of Washington, D.C. America's infrastructure is crumbling faster than a Nature Valley bar, which is why Joe Biden has released an ambitious plan to rebuild. His new infrastructure bill covers not just roads and bridges, but also manufacturing, high-speed internet, green energy, and even home health care for the elderly. And yeah, I know that last one isn't really infrastructure, but come on. You know, Biden had to throw a little something in there for himself, you know what I mean? So this bill would be a huge investment in America. But because it costs more than $2 trillion and might actually help people, no Republican senators are expected to vote for it. The good news for Biden is that this is one of those bills that the Democrats could pass with a simple majority, which they do have in the Senate. The bad news is one of those votes has to be Joe Manchin, West Virginia senator and owl on a job interview. And right now, Joe Manchin isn't too happy with the bill.
Joe Manchin might be a roadblock to the infrastructure plan.
The one man who may control the fate of President Biden's agenda is not making life easy for his fellow Democrats.
Senator Joe Manchin has continued to rail against that 28% proposed corporate tax hike to pay for this thing.
He thinks this will be broken up into 3 bills because one of the big arguments is that some things like childcare and housing aren't technically infrastructure.
Look, he is that 50th vote for Democrats, and Chuck Schumer, the majority leader, can't pass anything that Biden sends over without Joe Manchin.
You hear that? The entire fate of this infrastructure bill rests in the meaty hands of Joe Manchin. And it's not just infrastructure. If Joe Biden wants anything passed, from gun control to raising the minimum wage to making LeVar Burton the host of Jeopardy, he has to get Joe Manchin on board. Basically, if the Democrats are Britney Spears, then Joe Manchin is their dad, which makes Joe Manchin the most powerful person in America. Well, second to the guy at CVS who has the key to the razor shelf.